Hello, good afternoon. I come back with part three because I wasn't able to get everything out that I needed to get out. And if this video cuts off again on me, then what I'll go ahead and do is I will finish it later. But I wanted to address when I shared some of my story about what transpired with me. It says in the word that you guard your heart. He says, guard your heart, for out of it flows the issues of life. And I know in that situation, I ain't got my heart. I don't believe I guarded anything. And that's what transpired. And just like my sister and I were talking today, and I'm talking to the women, like some men don't care if they wound you. They're just there to get whatever they need to get and then move on to the next person. And that's what happened with me because this person who I was with and loved and cared for, the very same year they ended up, in a relationship with someone else. And then the following year, in which I wasn't stalking nobody's page or checking or nothing like that, I ran into a friend of his who saw me at the grocery store and told me that he was getting married. So that's how I knew I wasn't checking for him to see what he was doing. Because once you like exit my life, I'm not looking for you. I don't have no reason to talk or speak to you. And, as I mentioned before, the person never checked on me to say how I was doing or anything. They just went on their about their lives like they didn't know me, like I wasn't a friend to them, like I didn't mean nothing to them. They just went on, moved on with their life. And when I look back at it, it's just like they just came to sit for a bit, and then once they got done sitting, or they got healed, or felt like they healed a bit and got their confidence back, then they he was gone. And people being around certain people, which I've been told that, what God gives you in your heart, the way you are, is your demeanor can bring forth, healing, things like that. And that's what I pretty much learned. But, for this person to reach out to me, 10 years later, and that person never reached out to me for 10 after we split up, no time, never seen him again or anything like that, because in this was 2013 we split, and then of course I moved in 2015 from my house, but no time he ever reached out to me to say anything. So acting speaks louder than words. Ladies, pay attention, because if a man really loves you and cares for you, they wouldn't do that to you. They wouldn't do that to you at all. And I pretty much finally got my closure, pretty much, because I asked her, like, well, what was it about? Like, what was going on? What was it about the situation? What happened? Because I didn't know. I was giving a little piss poor excuse. But I did ask because I felt like that was my right. And basically, he was saying, well, the other person, the person he's with now, he formed a bond with that person. So basically, he's telling me we didn't have a formation of a bond, so there's no reason to stay or hang around. So I'm just like, okay. But this prompted me to open my mouth and say what happened with me so I can help other people, because I don't help other ladies, either other gentlemen. Because I hate when people do that, use people as placeholders, rebounds, and all of that. Because his friend subliminally referred him to me. But as a friend, why would you want to have your friend in a relationship with somebody and they are not healed, they're not whole? So your friend, you push your friend towards me, introduce the person to me, knowing that they're not healed. That's not a friend to me. Because what happened was somebody's heart got open and broken, and then the other person, they got healed and they moved on to other people, other individuals. So if you are an ex-boyfriend pursuing an ex-girlfriend of yours and you did not treat her right in a relationship, leave her alone. Even if you think you treated her good in a relationship, leave her alone. Don't disrupt her life. You didn't want her 10 years ago, 20 years ago. Why come back and disrupt her life because you're miserable or you're going through a miserable stage or season in your life? Leave her alone. Let her be. Let her be. She'd been thugging it out for years on end. Let her keep on thugging it out. That's a message to you men and to you women too. Same thing goes for you if you are one of them. Just because Nelly and Ashanti is spinning the block and all these other people are doing it, friends, family, or whoever, doesn't mean that that is your thing and that's your calling to do it. So I just wanted to address that because people have feelings and everything. And you may have feelings for somebody and they may not have anything for you. When someone's emotionally unavailable with you, they can't attach themselves to you to form that connection that you would have with like a courtship partner or husband or whatever else. They're not attached. So he was not emotionally attached to me. That's why it was easy for him to dip off and leave. So wait on that person who loves you, cares for you, wants to be with you. Not somebody who makes a mistake and then decides, well, hey, you know what? I want to be with her now, or I want to reconnect with her because she's a good person and all of that. I was good. I helped, I supported, and he knew I was a good friend. And my thing is, do to the exes that's trying to spin the block, do yourself a favor. Leave the man. I'm talking to you all because I'm a woman. Leave these women alone. You didn't want them. He basically told me in words. See, actions speak louder than words. So if a man marries another woman, that doesn't mean he's in love with you. That doesn't mean he's in love with you, because I heard this thing like, oh, well, I left, but my heart didn't. Your heart didn't, but you left. Your heart couldn't be with me because you didn't stay where you were. So it's just like the audacity of some people, and I just want to warn and pay attention. I don't care if it's a man of God, half man of God, 1/4 man of God, 0 man of God, or woman of God, because women do it too. But I'm addressing this as a woman because I'm a woman, and this is a man I'm speaking about. Y'all need to leave folks alone and stay on your side. You made your bed, you lay in it. And that's my thing. You made your bed, you lay in it. You didn't want the woman, leave her alone. You didn't love her, you didn't care for her, none of that. You just seen her as probably a good a lay with sex and maybe supporting you financially here and there and being there for you, but you don't see her as nothing else, a wife or nothing. And it don't make any sense for you to make a mistake supposedly and marry somebody else. And then you got epiphany like, oh, I want to be with somebody else because my marriage is not working out. And I told my sister, I was like, you know what? I was like, I never would have gotten an apology or nothing if that man wasn't having issues in his marriage. I wouldn't have got an apology, hello, I'm sorry, apology, nothing. So that's the way I look at it. And I'm glad I'm able to share this with you because I don't want nobody making the same mistakes as I did. Guard your heart when it comes to relationships. And with women, you women, ladies, a man has to be fully 110% invested in a relationship and has to love you more than you love him for it to work. I don't care what nobody says. Jesus or not Jesus, half Jesus, whatever. He has to love you more than you love him for a relationship to work. Wait on a man that is emotionally available. Don't be getting with men who just got a relationship, got out of marriage and all of that kind of different stuff. Wait on a man who knows the idea of being by himself, doesn't use people as placeholders, has gotten to know themselves, have grown, and all of that. Wait on that person. You don't need all that extra confusion and everything else. You don't need that. I'm looking at my computer. Sorry about that. But you don't need all that confusion. You don't need like any of it. So I just want to encourage someone today and to let you know you don't need all of that, and you are valuable with or without a man, with or without that man. And if it's meant for you to spin a block with a man, God will reveal it and it will be run smoothly, and that man will love you just as much as you love him. I know for a fact I was not loved in that relationship. Not at all. Nothing. Anything. It was just, he was just having a good time until, pretty much he found something else. So, just like, what's their saying? People, grass is not greener on the grass is not green on the other side. It's where you water it. And some people think they can find better, and they end up with worse than what they had. And I wasn't worse. I was good. So now that person, they did go ahead and marry the person, whoever they're with. But now it's not going so well over there. But I want people to be happy and prosperous. That's my thing. But my thing is, ladies, you are not second choice. You are not second choice. You are not second choice. You don't play second fiddle. And you are not the ex where they can just pull out their back pocket where they feel like it and try and return to you and be with you, where they made the decision 10 years ago to not want you. When a man walks away from you, they don't want you. And when a man walks away from you and marries somebody else, they don't want you. If they come back and say they really want you, blah, 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 it can only be probably a lust thing, picturing what, when y'all used to have sex and how the sex was good and all of that. And, how you were maybe financially supportive and loving towards him and his kids and helping them out and all that kind of different stuff. That could probably just all that it boils down to. It could be. Because if a man loves you, he going to stay with you and fight for you. And pretty much that relationship was something in the way it went. There was not really any just cause for, him to depart because there wasn't anything friction going on or anything. But hey, you can't make nobody love you. Can't nobody want you. Just like my brother, he's like, you know what? He's like, he probably got a type because the type, some people like toxic relationships. Some people like to get beat up across the head and fuss and argue with and stuff. And if there's no toxicity in there, then they don't want a part of a healthy relationship. So that's my stance on that. I did want to go ahead and get back in here to reiterate this and go ahead and talk about this topic. But I am going to go ahead and close out this video, but I just want to encourage somebody today. Don't think that an ex coming back into your life is a flex, because it's not. What it is to me is a trap. So I'm trying to see if you stupid still and see if you're going to put up with him. You are not a flex. You are a person. You have feelings. You have love. You don't deserve that. So if an ex tries to knock on your door and wants you back, unless God makes a move and he's moving things in different places, if God's in it, he's like, okay, well, I'm about to go ahead and do this and do that, blah, 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 and whatever, and orchestrate something, that's different. But besides that, keep your feelings to yourself. Even if you have lingering love and care, keep that stuff to yourself. Don't mention it, nothing. Don't reveal it, nothing. Nobody is worth heartache and pain, because when your heart was bleeding, they weren't there. I know when we split, I was upset because my heart was invested. I loved him. I cared for him. I cared for his kids. I cared for what God was moving as far as taking him to ministry. And he just dumped me like I was just, some trash, and then just moved and picked up and moved on to the next thing. So, but my thing is, it is what it is. And it says in the word, he that finds a wife finds a good thing shall obtain favor from the Lord. So what another man won't do, another man will. If he didn't want me, then oh well. But as mentioned, where the grass is not greener on the other side is where you water it. You don't have to put up with nothing. You don't want to put up with in relationships. And if a person got an issue with you, if they can't accept you for who you are, and they can't have good communication with you and have a conversation, then keep it pushing and keep it moving. Don't even bother with them. You don't owe your ex no explanation. If anything, they owed you one. They didn't give you anything. They walked out the door. But that's it for today. I hope everyone has a safe and happy holiday. But I did want to go ahead and share that with you and how my story progressed with that. But if if a man leaves a good woman and gets into a relationship with a not so good woman, because some men got a preference of how a woman looks and how a woman is. Some men like these Jezebel women out here. They love them, but they'll put their all heart and all and everything into them, give them so many chances. But a godly woman, they don't give them no chances. They'll just walk out, and that's it for them. So God bless you all. Thank you so much for tuning in. Put my scarf back on my head here. And be blessed. Less stress. And look forward to 2024. God bless you all. Have a great one. Have a great one. Remember what I said. You are the best. You're still a diamond. And always imitate it, but never duplicate it. Be blessed. Have a good day. Bye-bye.